I'd probably choose Jesus because Jesus is like I'd probably say like the most important cultural figure in like all of history. And he, like there's a lot of stuff that is speculated about him, I feel like, or if you believe the Bible, like is told about him. But I'd really like to know what the world was like from his perspective at the time. I don't know. It's like, I feel like that's a hard question because in one way I would like to be famous because I would like to have like that kind of power, like in the sense that I'd like to like bring people together, like other famous people. I would like to be able to be at the same level as them, like socially, and be able to bring them together for like some kind of event. But I don't want to be famous because I don't want like that kind of attention on myself. No, I just kind of go into it. Like I don't rehearse any of my telephone calls. I just go straight in. I feel like a perfect day would be, like probably like if I was with somebody that I really cared about, and then we just like went around and did things together. Like if we went to like, I don't know, our art museums are like have always been like my big thing. Like I love going to art museums and just like wandering around. So like that would probably be a big part of the day. And then like just being outside is always like a good part of the day. I last sang to myself probably yesterday. And I think I also sang to somebody else yesterday. Yeah, probably in the art studio. Mind or body of a 30-year-old?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd probably say body, just because I would want the mind. Like I wouldn't want the mind of a 30-year-old, because I feel like you learn so much throughout your years. So I would definitely want like the body, but not for any like aesthetic reasons, just because I don't want a mind. I don't have like a hunch about, I don't know how I'm gonna die, but I know that I'm gonna die young. What? It's a real thing. I've always had this like overwhelming feeling that I'm always gonna die like young. I don't know why. Who knows, I could probably live to be like 107, but. Oh yeah. Well, we're both very artistic, very open-minded, like creative. I don't know. Two other things. We both talk with our eyes. I think that's like a pretty big thing. And then, I don't know, creative and open-minded, that could be two, right? Because like on one side, like we're both really creative, but I guess they kind of go together because the more you get into like creativity and like the more you discover about yourself, the more open-minded you are. So I guess like the third thing would be we both have like really big hearts and we both care a lot about the people around us, sometimes to like our own detriment, maybe, but probably everything. Well, I don't know. I guess that's a weird answer, but like I just feel grateful that I am alive, even though some days it's like hard to like think about that, you know. But like every day I wake up, I'm like grateful that I have another day. Oh man, any one quality or ability. I don't know. You're giving like a specific look, like there's one thing. What? You like had this like look in your eyes, like that there was one thing that I was like, you're like, you should say this. One quality or ability. I don't know, maybe like the ability of like teleportation. I feel like it's like, what? I would.
That's what it was.
Oh.
I just did it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, I definitely have teleportation because then you could just go anywhere and like see whoever you wanted. And there's so many people that like I would want to see right now. But then I don't know, would that make you value that person less in the moment? I guess that would be, but I don't know.
Set two.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't want to know anything about my future or nothing. I don't know. I just like living now.
What if you had to pick something? Like, what if nothing wasn't an option?
If nothing wasn't an option? Oh, then I don't know. I guess, like, I don't know. There's nothing that I would want to know. Like, there's nothing that fascinates me about the future.
Or yourself, or life, or
Or
anything
myself.
else. Anything that you would want to know.
I don't know. There's nothing that... Because I feel like then you would ask a question that nobody knows, and then you, like, it, like, has a control. Like, then you become all-knowing about one specific thing. And, like, I don't like that. But, I mean, I guess maybe, like... I don't know. I can't think about anything that I would want to know about life. I've dreamed about... I don't know. I feel like... Well, I mean, I dream about, like, going back to Europe, but, like, that is something that I will be doing. So, like, I can't do it now because of, like, economic means. But, like, I want to make progress to get there someday. My greatest accomplishment is probably, like... Oh, I don't know. I guess, like, declaring an art major. I feel like that was a pretty big accomplishment. And I don't know. I don't know what else would be an accomplishment.
Wrote a book. But it's like, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I just trust and, like, open communication, I feel like, are the two most important things. Like, trust, open communication, and acceptance, I think, are, like, the three most important things. Because you can't fully be somebody's friend unless you really, like, accept who they are in, like, entirety. I guess I have a lot of treasured memories, but Europe was a pretty, like, I think that's one, our really close friend group, like, the people that I was really close with, I think, and the people that really, like, the people who, like, in the previous question, like, fully accepted, that was, like, the greatest thing about that group was everyone was, like, just fully accepting of the people. And I think that, like, they taught me a lot about love that was different than what I've ever experienced. There's been, like, a couple. Like, I feel like there's a couple times where I've just been at, like, low points, but yeah, I don't know. Like, when I broke my face, that was a pretty low point. Because it kind of, like, changes your whole perception about, like, how you view yourself when other people see you in, like, this really weird state. And then, like, but I think, like, you also learn a lot from those really low points. Like, yeah, I don't know. It just teaches you a lot. Nope. I wouldn't change anything. I just keep on living. I think friendship means, like, the same thing. Like, somebody that's there that's, like, really, that, like, knows you really well, and you can, like, connect on, like, really, like, deep levels. Like, they just understand you as, like, a person, and then you can share that like open form of just like acceptance and love, and then you know that like they have the best interest for you and like all that. Like everything. I feel like my life is like love and affection are probably the two like most important parts of my life. And not even romantically, just like in general. I think that love, well, i.e. this show, like I think this is like the most important part of life. And love is like a really powerful thing that kind of flows through all of us. And so I think that like love should be unconditional, and like you should become unconditional love and see everyone with the same amount of love and not like specific people. Because I think when you limit your love to a specific amount of people or a specific amount of ideas, then you're kind of like limiting the love that's in yourself also, because you're only going to love the things that you are expected to love. What?
You got a lot of options.
Look at all these people. Your smile is really nice. I really like your smile. And your eyes, of course. And then I also like just how caring you are about everyone. Even though sometimes like you kind of like see it as a bad thing sometimes, I feel like, because you think that it's like getting in the way of yourself. But I feel like it's just like a holistic part of yourself. Like you loving everybody is like such a big part of you. So like you have such a big heart, and I think that's a cool thing. Yeah. Your family is also really cool, and then like we've talked about this before, like as far as your art goes, but I think your family like has a big influence on you, which is something that some people don't have. And your family is like very, very warm and accepting, and kind of like plays with your personality very well. I don't know what the other one would be. Your dimples. I guess that's a weird question, because who's like to judge somebody else's happiness like based off of what your like idea of happiness is? But I think that my family is very warm and very close. Like my parents have really like taught us a lot of things, and I really appreciate and like value. Growing up, like everyone I think gets into fights with your parents about like how, like you think things should be done, but in the end, like you realize that most of the time your parents were probably right. Like I just messaged my dad the other day and was like, thank you for making us do the dishes when we were young, because like now I appreciate that very much, that he was always like, this is something that you have to do. It's like a part of being a member of the house, and I really appreciate that. So I think that we had a really good childhood. I think my relationship with my mother has grown more so over the years. I think it was hard when we were growing up because none of us really had like a connection with our mother. Like my mother, like me and my sisters never had a connection with her because she was always gone when we were growing up. Like my dad got his degree really early, and then my mom went back to school like when she had us. So it was like hard. She was always at school or always at work, and like during those early years. So it was like, and our dad was always home with us doing art projects and things like that. So it was like, that is like emotionally where we connected when we were little. And now it's like, I connect with my mom on a lot more of emotional things. Like with like my anxiety, like I never understood my anxiety because the way that my dad views the world is very different than the way that like me and my mom experience the world. And so I think now it has benefited me a lot to like really kind of connect with my mom a lot more. A bed? Is that a weird answer?
Yeah, it's not weird.
I don't know, you just like, I don't know, I guess maybe that's just like the point that I'm at like in this video, but like, because I feel like I have people who I can share like a lot of stuff with, but I guess like I don't have that. Like I have people who I can share things with intimately in like a mental way, but not in like a physical way. So I guess I don't know. I'm fucking weird. I guess that's a thing. Like I really do I really do love everybody, and I think that sometimes, so I guess that's also something that I would share, is that like sometimes that is like people see that as that I'm not close with you because I'm spending so much time with like everyone. And I think a lot of people equate friendship with time. And so like the time that I spend with you doesn't necessarily mean that's how close I am with you. It just means that that's how much time like we have to spend with each other. But I still love you like fully and 100%, even if I only see you like once every 6 years. Like if you are truly like my friend, like you're always going to be there in my head. So I don't know. What's an embarrassing moment? Well, I guess like breaking my face. That was pretty embarrassing. Like when I was in Germany and then I got really drunk and then like jumped into the ground 3 times. That was like probably the most embarrassing thing I've done. But then like in hindsight, you don't really, like I don't live a life with any regrets. So like I don't regret any of the decisions that I made. So I also don't equate like embarrassing things from the past. But I'm pretty sure there's like a million things. Like, oh, I know that one time when I was in middle school, this is like, you know, like middle school things. But like, I remember one time this kid asked me if I liked this girl. And then I was like, no, I don't like her. And then like everyone was like talking about it. And like that was really embarrassing. I don't know why. That was like just the most like traumatizing thing from middle school. Because like I did like her, obviously. Cried by myself. Like fully cried, probably like, it was like over the summer in like August, like right before school. I think like there like some things happened and then like I just like broke down and was like, just had like a super like full on like just like breakdown. And so I had to like go somewhere. I was with other people at the time, but like I left to like go cry because I just like had to like get away from it. Cried in front of another person. I don't know. When was the last time I cried in front of somebody? I feel like it was probably you, but I don't know. When did I last cry in front of you?
In July.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. I forgot about that. Yeah. In July, I also had another like existential crisis, and there's a lot of things going on in my head all the time. I thought we already did this one. Oh no, that was 5.
That was 5.
5 characteristics. Everything. Is that an answer?
No.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what would be too serious to be joked about. Probably nothing. Unless like, if it's like something, I think it depends on like who you're talking to. If there's somebody like, if somebody like their parent just died or something, like I don't think you should joke about that. but like, I think it's all situational. I don't know. And I feel like I try to make an effort to like really tell everyone how I feel all the time, and like try to make sure that the people around me feel appreciated every day. So I like try to say I love you and like I appreciate, like thank you, like just the little ways that you can tell somebody that like I love you, but not like in that way. Like like today, like our friend Alex bought pizza, and like just saying thank you for that, I think is important things. But like as far as big things, I don't know. Probably my laptop. Like that sounds kind of dumb, but like my laptop is like everything. Like I do everything on my laptop, and it would be really hard. Like a phone is replaceable. I would just get like a flip phone or something because like who cares? I don't know. But like my laptop is so essential to like being a student. Oh, I don't know. That's like my biggest fear. Like really is like I don't care if I die. It doesn't matter because I'm not going to know anything about it. Like I'm not going to experience how everyone else is experiencing my death. But I go back and forth like a lot, like because of if my parents died, like they're older, so like I feel like it would make sense, but then I would also hurt a lot. But then also like if my littlest sister died, like if Skyland died, that would be like really like traumatic for me. Not that like Mason wouldn't be traumatic, but like Skyland is like so young that it would be like really intense. Obviously, all like if any of them died, it would be very sad. So so one of the things is like being, we like talked about this, but I'm going to bring it up again. Like being like a skinny man is like something that isn't like viewed as like favorable in society, and like it's always something that I've struggled with. And then when people like tell me to like eat, or like they're like, do you like have you eaten today or anything like that, like it puts a certain like idea in your head that the way you look like isn't good enough. And I think that's something that's really hard. Like that's been the hardest thing. So like telling people, because that's like a lot to like explain to somebody like who's like they genuinely like have your best interest in heart most of the time. Like they just want you to like make sure that you're eating, but like they don't understand like the social implications of it.